sequence of these sections, which gives us a clear idea of how to write that is a computer code. Algorithm is not related to the computer language, but it is a sequence of instructions which gives us a clear idea. It is just the sequence of instructions which gives us a clear idea on how to write that is a computer code. Every problem that can be solved using the computer can be requested with the algorithm. Algorithms are generally, it is a language interdependency, and hence it is algorithm is implemented in any programming language. Here, flowchart can be used to represent. It is a process of the planning in any area like the business, education, hospitals, and old programming languages are basics and beginners all the purpose of the symbolic instructions code. And the photon formula, it is a translations. It is comes to the examples of unstructured programs where that is a flow of the step or the sequential as expected and can be the jump to an unexpected location which go to like the statement. And structured languages use the blocks of code, group of the statements and control statements and decision making. Next, iterative statements and the repeating that is the blocks of code and the functions and modes of the code for the fusion. Most of all the modern languages like that C, C++, Java, C#, and Python follow that is structured programming languages. Definition and examples of the programming. It is a Webster and dictionary. It is a precision rule or set of rules to specify the how to solve that some problems. In that algorithm, once again, it is a definition is precise rule or a set of rules. That is a specify how to solve that is a problem. How to solve that is a problem we can specify in this set of rules. So that is called as an algorithm. In this characteristics of algorithm, if I go for that, the characteristics of algorithm. Here, an algorithm has a followed the characteristics. Output algorithm. It is an algorithm should have one or more desired outputs. Input means an algorithm may have that is a zero or more very defined inputs. Unambiguous is each step of algorithm should be the clear and unambiguous. And finiteness and the algorithm should terminate after the finite number of steps. Language independent. An algorithm should be the independent of the programming language writing algorithm. These are the no standards of the writing of algorithm. Generally, it is written to the between start and the stop steps. Some may start in the definition as algorithm name input. The algorithm may contain there is a basic code constructor like the flow control and if else and loops and do for while etc., which are generally available in almost every language. The simplest example for the algorithm to addition of the two numbers, displaying the result, writing the steps of the numbers is optimal, can be the omitted into the preferred. So it is a grouping steps represented in the identification and push it to the right with the tabs or space. So that is the steps is indicated with the level belongs to the same group. Now we go for steps. It is a start first. It is a declare that is a three variables x, comma y, comma z, and read the assigned value to it is into the x, and read the values into the y, and read the values into the values assigned to the z. Add the values of x and y, and assign that z. Print z, that is called as a stop. So it is called as a sum of the two numbers that will be the assigned the steps. It is called a set of instructions into the one sequential order of the steps. Next, input variable can be defined in the algorithm, defined as well as it is no algorithm can be rewritten. Algorithm and define the x, y, z, and x is a read value and y is a read value, z is x plus y, display z stop, and follow the session with the present some basic algorithm which can be used in the other large algorithm as building the blocks. Example, find the maximum of the two numbers are given user. That algorithm I am writing start and declare variable A and B and read the variables A and B. If A greater than B, display this maximum. Else B is maximum. This is a stop. So this is called as the simple finding of the maximum of the three numbers. Yeah, two numbers. It is a maximum solving, identifying that's a maximum of the two numbers. If I go for that the three numbers, find the maximum of the three numbers given by the user, start and declare that's the variables A, comma B, comma and C. Read the variables A, comma B and C, and if A greater than B and if A greater than C, display as maximum. Next, else if B greater than C, display B as a maximum. Display else display C as the maximum. Example, stop and finding the factorial of the given by the users. Start and declare the variables n, f, and I, and initialize the variables f is tends to 1, I tends to 1. Read the values of n. Repeat that is the next step. It is a until the I equal to 1, f is tends to f star I, and I tends to I plus 1. The display f. Stop. This is a program for finding out the factorial of the numbers. Given number. Find the roots of the quadratic equation. That is next programming. In this programming, directly we can go for the start and declare that it's a variables a comma b comma c d r1 r2 d tends to b squared minus 4ac, b equal to how much? B squared minus 4ac, so that it is directly r1 is I can calculate minus b plus d by 2a. Otherwise r2 equal to minus b minus d by 2a. Display r1 and r2 as the roots. Else calculate the real and imaginary part. rp equal to b by 2a and ip equal to minus b by 2a. So display the roots rp plus j into ip and rp minus j into ip. Stop. This is a these are the algorithm, a set of instructions. It is a some follow the some particular rule are called as a algorithm. Next, it is a flow chart. How to write that is a flow chart. Flow chart means a tool to explain that the steps to the process of program. Process of program. It is a flow chart can be defined as a graphical and pictorial representation of algorithm with the help of the different predefined symbols and arrows. The program steps are sequence. Program steps are sequence. Your program steps are the sequence. So correct. Now here flowcharts. Flowcharts, symbols used in the flowchart. It is a terminal, start, end, and generally read inside this oval, circular, round, rectangular, input and output. What to read or the what to output is a written inside, that is a parallelogram, and processor instructions, steps are the written into the inside this box. Decision, the condition based on the which is a decision is to be taken is written inside the this demand and connector. These are the symbols for the how to represent in the flowchart. Same programs we can write into the flowchart through form into the algorithm. It is a print 1 to 10. It is a print step 1. It is a starter and steps initialize to equal to 0. Increment x by 1 and print x if x is less than 10. Stop. It is called as a algorithm steps. In this representation of the flowchart, it is a start and x equal to 0, x equal to x plus 1, print x. If x is less than 10, then it is a yes, so that it will go for the incremental x equal to x plus 1 arrow. Then come down and x, and again x is less than 16, then go for the print. Like all the numbers will be printed. Next, coming to the another example in the flowchart, finding that is a maximum of three numbers. The algorithm for the finding the maximum was given to the precisely the pictorial representation as a flowchart is given below. Here start, read A comma B comma C and A greater than B, yes, and it is go for that is a no means it is a B greater than C, yes means A greater than C. So A is the maximum. Otherwise, it is go for otherwise both it fails, then go further is the print is B is print C is the maximum. This is called as the overall programming flowchart for the maximization of the three numbers. Next, structured programming. Yeah, structured programming, old programming language like the basics. Beginners, all the purpose of the symbols, instruction code, and photon and formula transactions are examples of the unstructured program where there is a flow of the steps are the sequential as expected and can be the jump to the unexpected location with the go to like statement, and unstructured language is a lack a reusable and the readability of the code, which are the desirable features of the good programming language. A structured program can be defined as a programming approach in which the program is made as a single structure. It avoids that it is a possibility of the jumping to the arbitrary instruction inadvertently as a possible an unstructured language. The instructions in the approach are the executed in the well-defined the sequential and structured manner. Almost of the modern languages like the C, C++, Java, C Sharp, it is a Python, etc. are the structured programming approaches. Structured programming are the books are the coded. Control statements, decision making, and iterative statements, and repeating the blocks of the code and the functions and modes of the code for the use. And structured programming has a single entry point and the terminates on exit. And structured programming are easier to read, understand, and debugging and maintain. That is the development of the software also become easier and require less effort and time. Science code can be the reused and less prone for the errors and debugging in case of errors is easy. Consider the following C programming for the finding. Development of the software also to become the easier and require the less effort and the time sensitive the code can be the reused. Less prone for the errors And debugging in easy of the errors is easy. And consider the following C programming for the finding the average of even numbers, the arrays, integers. The syntax and programs are not important has the ending of the focus for the how structure to language look like. Example, it is a programming style is hash include stdio.h int and int rc and character or array main method. It is comes to the here entry int of x equal to 1 to 10 and array of the numbers and int I and sum equal to 0 and cent equal to 0. Loop sum and the count variable and float and variable available average variable int n equal to size of the x divided by size of int. Finding the number of elements. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Iterate that is through the array variables. And it is a if x of I is a percentile equal to 0, then sum plus equal to bracket x of I. Count to C plus plus. It is incremental. Then it is a count is greater than 0. Average equal to float of sum. It is by the float of count. It is called as computer average as. Next, it is a printf that's the average is a percentile of average. It is else that it is there are no even numbers in the array. Printf average cannot be the found if there are no elements in the assist. It will be the user result. Our required count is greater than 0 or percentage here. Next, summary of this unit. An algorithm is a procedure route. Specify how to solve that is some problem. So there are the no standards for the writing of algorithm, and generally it is written into the between start and stop steps. And some may start it will be the defined as algorithm. The algorithm may be contain the basic code constructors like the flow control, loops to do for the while, and etc., which are the generally available in almost every language. Simplest example for the algorithm is the addition of the two numbers and the display the result and the writing steps. Numbers is optimal and cannot be the omitted if the resisted so that all programming steps in sequences. Next, here, check your progress and model answer questions, explain algorithm with the example, describe the flow chart with the example, and write a process of properties of the structured programming. These all are the questions that you will ask in the examination. And some of the questions are the right algorithm to find the result. Some are minimum for the 1 billion and describe the various symbols of used in the flowchart and draw the flowchart to find that the sequence square of the even numbers. These are the steps. Next, new programming is called as next is the evolution of the C program. Evolution of the C programming, history of the features of the C language and structures of the execution of the C programming, and check your progress. Here, C was developed by the Dennis Richa in 1972. It's history and features of the C language. When that is a common Cunningham developed by the Unix operating system and implemented it on the PDP 7 missions and wanted to move to the PDP 11. Missions they are assisted that is effort to the port of improving. Therefore, that they look at the decision of the port, which is a develop the invention. It is the richest was working out the languages program. Why C programming we should use? Because of ANSI is American National Standards of Institute. These standardized by the languages. C language, small set of the keywords and a strong input and output and well structured in the models. Then availability of the supporting the libraries, so using that as a controllable memory management and system level programming, support mission independent features of the C language. It is a robust and a rich set as the built in the functions and operating with the exercise express any complex equations. Supports assembly language with Features of the high-level languages with required to the system progress languages. C programming are efficient and run the faster than many programming written in other languages due to the optimization of the code and the closeness as assembly languages. C is a almost portal, which is a means that it's a program written on the machine can be run into another machine without modification. Can be extended by while via for libraries and defined data. Structured and execution of the C program. Where C program consists of one or more functions, and each of these functions perform its own task. That result of the generated by these tasks are the process between the functions in the several ways. A special function called as a main should be the declared and which is the act as a empty point of the entire set of the function. The execution of the program starts with the first line of the program, and the other functions are called from within the main functions directly or indirectly. There is no rule that the function main should be the first function in the progress. Each statement within the blocks must be the terminated by the semicolon, known as the statement terminators. A block of the related statements are the enclosed within the purely braces and which is known as a compound statement. And if the in C semicolon terminates the statements and hence that the statement can span in the more than one line and many statements can be written in the single line. Structure of the function and each function of the C program consists of the heading with the including that is a function name and the list of the argument passed into the functions and written by the declaration. A block that contains that's a local variable and it defines the statement which may include the calls to other functions and the may retain the statement. Example, consider the function that add two integers and return that is the sum of sum as an integer. Add int a and int b, sum equal to a plus b, return sum. Include the statement and global definition